The truth about drugs, freedom, and responsibility. Drugs have often been viewed negatively because of their potential to cause harm, but we must also recognize that they can offer benefits to those who need them for pain relief, stress reduction, and even anxiety management. Health concerns are real, but it's important to remember that many things in life, even sugar, can lead to long-term health problems like diabetes. Just because something can be harmful doesn't necessarily mean it should be illegal or banned. My health and how I choose to manage it are my responsibility, and it's not anyone else's business. If people say that drug trafficking is a reason for making drugs illegal, that's not a valid argument. The truth is, if someone wants to exploit another person for human trafficking, they'll do it regardless of whether drugs are legal or illegal. Trafficking has nothing to do with drugs themselves, it's about the people who exploit others, and making drugs illegal won't stop that. Take knives, for example. A knife can be used for many purposes: cutting food, cooking, even self-defense, but some people misuse knives for violence. Should we ban all knives because of the bad things some people do with them? Of course not. The tool itself isn't the problem, it's how it's used. Similarly, drugs can be misused, but they can also serve as a tool for healing, depending on the circumstances. People also argue that drugs cause homelessness, but that's not accurate. Homelessness exists because of deep structural issues. People are born into situations where they don't have access to basic needs, like land or housing. The government and parents share responsibility for providing these resources. If everyone had free access to land or housing, many of the problems tied to homelessness would be solved. A home with land at least 500 meters should be a basic right, not something to fight for. When God created Adam and Eve, they were given land without cost. So why should we pay to live in a world that was provided to us for free? Society needs to rethink how we treat land, housing, and the basic needs of every human being. This would make work easier, as people could focus on building their lives instead of constantly worrying about survival. As for drug users, they are not all the same. Some are productive members of society, and others may be struggling. The problem is, when drugs are illegal, it's difficult for people to access them legally or grow them for themselves, leading to high costs. The illegal nature of drugs makes them expensive, and it forces people to spend money they can't afford. This can cause stress, financial hardship, and mental health issues. It also contributes to social problems like crime, as people may turn to illegal activities to support their addiction. If drugs were legal, people could grow them in their homes, reducing the cost and allowing them to have more control over their choices. When something is illegal and costly, it leads to more problems: financial stress, social issues, and even criminal behavior. It's a vicious cycle. People who can't afford drugs may feel trapped and end up in difficult situations, even going to jail or causing harm to others in desperation. We have to remember that the issue isn't drugs themselves, but the way society has handled them. Criminalizing drugs has created more harm than good, pushing people into desperate situations. Everyone should have the right to choose how they live, and if you don't agree with drug use, that's fine, but don't infringe on the rights of others who make different choices. We should be fighting for freedom, not control over each other's lives. In the end, if people are denied their freedom to make choices about their own lives, it creates resentment, hatred, and division. When you take away someone's freedom, you risk causing greater harm not just to them, but to society as a whole. It's about respecting each other's rights, even if we don't always agree.